Way back when the idea was first created, he screened John Woo's The Killer for me. And then later came Coffee.
This is the end of your rotten life, you dope pusher!
And Sergio Leone, Clint Eastwood films. Bruce Lee, Lady Snowblood, a Japanese samurai female revenge film, which was a big inspiration to him.
The whole combination of the right piece of music, all right, with the right visual image, I really think is one of the most exciting things you can do in movies. There's a reason why people remember it in my movies, because when you do it right, it's really memorable. So I've been a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan for a long time and a huge fan of RZA. I met him when I was doing the promotion for the film Iron Monkey. So we meet each other and boom, right away, and we started clicking. All right, so start talking about this kung fu movie, that kung fu movie, this kung fu movie, that kung fu movie. And the thing is, if you're a big fan of this genre, you have an immediate response the minute you meet somebody that can keep up with you, all right, who's seen the same movies, has the same appreciation, loves it as much as you do, and you can name this title and this actor and this title and this actor, and then they know what you're talking about. So we just really clicked big time.
And it was funny though, because I was bragging about certain movies, like I got the first old video cassette that I had for 20 years that nobody don't got. And Quentin's like, yeah, I got the 35mm master. You know what I mean? So I'm pulling out DVDs, he's pulling out the masters. And that was kind of like funny, like real ego man talk, you know what I mean? And
then after that, it was like, I was like, well, you know, I'm writing Kill Bill. I'm getting that ready to go. And then it just became, there was never, oh, by the way, would you like to do the music? Or, hey, Quentin, you think I should do the music? You know, it wasn't never even a conversation like that. It just kind of grew out of that.
When he first asked me about music, he asked me would I like to produce the soundtrack in the way that I produce Wu-Tang albums. Because he's like, I listen to your music and you always use these stings and these stabs and all this. And I'm thinking about maybe having you produce my soundtrack. I said, well, it's, you know, whatever, you know, I do, that's easy. I mean, that's like nothing. If that's what you want, consider it done.
And not only did he do a fantastic job with both coming up with some neat original pieces, it was the very first time in one of my movies. But also just, you know, being able to sample some of the different cool sound effects that, you know, we both grew up listening to in kung fu films.
We took a few things from old Shaw Brothers stuff to add flavor to it, you know what I mean? For those kung fu buffs that know everything about kung fu movies, they're gonna appreciate it. They're gonna appreciate that when it first comes on, you see the Shaw Brother logo that Quentin used. You know what I mean? They're gonna appreciate those type of things.
There's a piece of beautiful music, Zanfir, the pan flute guy, that's used in the movie in a very crucial scene. It's actually even used in the closing credits, all right? And when it was played for me, it was like, this is amazing. This is Japanese samurai meets Sergio Leone, you know, Morricone, all right? I go, oh my God, the fusing, it's like what the whole movie's about, this fusion, all right? RZA was like in a Thai restaurant, and it was playing, you know, and there's stereo system, all right? And it's like, what is that? I gotta use that for Kill Bill. I was in Tokyo doing pre-production on Kill Bill, and I was like walking down, I had like an hour and a half before I had to leave for the airport, and I had all my crap done. So I'm always like walking around in Japan and walking into this store and that store, buying this, buying that, just chilling out, all right? And so there's this like really cool hip clothing store, you know, sells cool retro clothing, all right? And I walk in the store and I'm looking for like a cool shirt or cool jacket, just, you know, something to jump off the shelf. And then they're playing the 5, 6, 7, 8s in there. And it's like, this is a boss band, man. So I go up to the counter, you know, in English, they're Japanese, you know, and I ask them, who is this? And they go, oh, that's the 5, 6, 7, 8s. Really, can I see the CD? And they show it to me. And they go, can I buy this? I go, well, no, that's the store copy. We're a clothing store. You know, if you want to buy it, though, you can find it at Tower Records. They have it there. Go to Tower. And I'm like, I can't go to Tower. I'm gonna be leaving too shortly. I gotta leave right now, all right? How about I buy it from you and I'll give you the money, and I'll pay you even more, and then you can just go and pick it up again at Tower. How about that? I go, well, we have to call the manager, all right? I go, well, could you call him? Okay, all right, so, in Japanese, that's very rude to be that, imposing, all right, but it was worth it, all right? I knew I needed to get this, all right? And so, because I knew I wouldn't follow up on it. Okay, I'll do that, and then you don't do it, all right? And so they called the manager, and the manager said, yeah, sure, okay, fine, $7, okay, great. I start listening to it, and I found, okay, this is the song for the long, steady cam shot. This will work great. And then I started thinking about, what if I brought the girls down? If these girls are as cool as they are, so I asked to get a videotape of the girls performing, and they gave it to me. All right, and I listened to it, and I watched it and go, oh, they're gonna be so great. 3 cool girls, play all their instruments and do surf music in Japanese. How cool is that? And so I brought them down. Those were their own costumes. That's not the production, dressing them up in any crazy way. They have about like 6 or 7, like the Ronettes. They have 6 or 7, syncopated outfits. We picked our favorite one. They came out and they just rocked the house, man. They were just great. But, I really have to thank that clothing store, because if they hadn't have sold me the CD right then and there, I know I wouldn't have followed up on it. I would have gotten the airplane, I would have forgot about it, and they never would have been in the movie.
Some of the movie takes place in China, some of it takes place in Japan. And we went to Japan, we went to Hong Kong, we went to the Shaw Brothers Studios, a back lot there to see if we were going to shoot in the back lot. We went to mainland China. And what it looked like the best idea was to do was to base our main base of operations in Beijing, and then shoot a little bit in Tokyo.
We ended up going to the Beijing film studio, which is this fantastic film studio that Mao built, directed, and make propaganda films. It was like the personal project of Mao's wife. And what's really cool about the studio is it's not just a studio, it's a community. Because the technicians that worked for the Beijing film studios, they signed lifetime contracts. So that was their home. They had a job for life. And so thus they have schools and apartment buildings and stores and all kinds of stuff there. And it was quite an experience.
That is a picture wrap for China!
Well, there were multiple translators running around the set at all times. There was the Japanese to English translators, the Chinese to English translators. The Japanese to Chinese translators were equally as essential.
All right, now we're ready to get one for camera. And if you see how difficult it is, but we're going to get it.
And, it was sort of like that. It was kind of madhouse.
Unconsciously, I think what happens with Quentin, he just soaks that stuff up like a sponge. Just living, sitting, breathing that culture. Little things seep in, and they just end up in the movie. So just being there in China was an amazing thing. And he didn't want an all-American crew to go over to China and say, this is how we're going to do it, and to go to Japan. He really wanted the input of the nationals from those countries and to see what they brought.
It was sad to leave. It was very sad to leave. So much so that, to me, pretty much for the rest of the movie, when we went back to America to shoot, I felt like we were on location. Because it felt like when we were shooting in the Beijing film studios, we were home. Action!
Yeah. Cool. Very good.
There's something about Quentin's sensibility that he creates his own world, he creates his own style. It's gonna be non-stop, kick you in the ass filmmaking.
You never know what you're gonna expect.
It's vintage Tarantino.